There's a moment that almost no one talks about. A moment when you realize no matter what you say, no matter how clearly you explain, some people will never understand you. Not because you're wrong, but because they've already decided who you are. And once that hits you, everything starts to feel different. At first, you don't accept it. You try harder. You explain your side again. You justify your actions. You replay conversations in your head, thinking, maybe I didn't say it right. Maybe if I explain better, they'll understand. But they don't. And slowly, something inside you starts breaking. Not loudly, but quietly. You begin to feel tired, drained, exhausted from explaining things that should have been obvious. And then, one day, something unexpected happens. You stop. Not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of clarity. You realize something most people never do. Not everyone deserves an explanation. And in that moment, you take your power back. Because every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you're not just talking, you're asking for permission. Permission to be understood, permission to be accepted, permission to exist the way you are. But here's the truth. You were never supposed to ask for that. Strong people don't explain themselves to everyone. They don't argue to prove their worth. They don't chase validation. They don't waste energy fixing every misunderstanding. Instead, they stay quiet. And that silence makes people uncomfortable. Because people expect reactions. They expect you to defend yourself. They expect you to argue back. But when you don't, they don't know what to do. And suddenly, the power shifts. You're no longer trying to convince them. Now they're trying to figure you out. And that changes everything. Because mystery creates attention, and attention creates respect. Think about it. The person who reacts to everything is predictable, easy to control, easy to manipulate. But the person who stays calm, who doesn't react instantly, who doesn't explain unnecessarily, becomes unpredictable. And unpredictability feels powerful. Now imagine this. Someone blames you, accuses you, misunderstands you completely. The old version of you would argue, defend, explain, try to prove you're right. But the new version just looks at them and stays calm. No reaction, no explanation, just silence. And that silence says something powerful. I know who I am, and I don't need you to confirm it. That kind of energy can't be faked, and people feel it, because deep down, everyone is used to chasing approval. But you're not, and that makes you different. It makes you stand out. It makes people respect you, even if they don't admit it. But here's where most people get it wrong. This isn't about ignoring everything. It's not about becoming cold. It's about control. Control over your emotions, control over your words, control over your energy. Because not every situation deserves your explanation, and not every person deserves access to your mind. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to say nothing, to walk away, to let people believe whatever they want, because your peace is more valuable than their opinion. And the moment you understand this, life becomes quieter but stronger. You stop chasing conversations. You stop proving yourself. You stop explaining things that don't matter. And instead, you move in silence, calm, focused, unbothered. And that silence, it speaks louder than any explanation ever could. Because now, you're not trying to be understood. You're simply being who you are.
And that is real power.